All right, Ms. Leon, will you put it in the chat one more time for everyone just coming in? Good evening, and if you will, please click on the Google Doc link in the chat to fill out the attendance form. We'll give it about another minute or so, and then we'll get started.
Okay.
You ready, Ms. Davidson?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Good evening. Thank you for coming to the Mustang Meetup with us again. For those of you just joining us, Ms. Leon has put the attendance link in the chat, so please click on that so that we know who's joining us today. And we're going to go ahead and get started with Ms. Davidson and the tip.
Are you going to share my?
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. There you go.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you guys for coming. As Ms. Gunter said, I need to share the our targeted improvement plan. And back in 2018, 2019, it was a couple of years ago, the campus earned a school rating of an F. And due to that, we are continuing to participate in a reflective planning model. It's a very structured model. We look at school improvement efforts and we look at how we're going to move our campus forward. Now, because we didn't take a test, obviously in the spring, we are continuing with our rating. That didn't change for us. So with that being said, we will be evaluated. We evaluate ourselves, and then we have Texas Education Agency that also evaluates us every 3 times. So there's 3 cycles within this school year. And we have chosen, there's 5 different areas in which the schools can choose to work in. And so after we completed our reflection process, we came up with the 3 areas that we felt would move the campus forward. So the first one is establishing an aligned vision, mission, and goals, which is what we asked you last time we met. Asking you for some of your opinions as to how you felt you wanted your school to look for your students. We've almost finished that work. We're getting ready to put out there what it is that the consensus was of what we've come up with as our vision, mission, and goals. So we will get that out. And of course, everything that we do now, since we have our new vision and mission, everything that will drive all of our decisions. It drives our campus improvement plan. It drives how we spend our money. It drives professional development that the teachers might want to go to. And so all of that now will be encompassed in our vision and mission. The second one, if you can scroll up a little bit, Ms. Gunter. Thank you. So the second and the third one really have to do with instruction in the classroom, which is what we felt we needed to hone in on. We needed to get better at for our kids. So the first one is just the daily lesson plans, making sure that the daily lesson plans have everything in it that we felt that needed to be there. We want to make sure that the level of rigor is there, as well as making sure that our administrators are part of the planning process. And then, which goes right into the third one that we chose, which is the data-driven instruction. So everything that we do, from how we plan our lessons to how we deliver the lessons, all goes back to the data that we see, the data that we saw on the STAR, and as well as the data that the teachers see every day in their exit tickets. So I just wanted to be able to go over this with you and let you know that although we are still considered an F campus, we're still considered a campus in need of improvement. And we do feel that if we would have been able to take the test in the spring, that we could have gotten ourselves out of the predicament that we are in. And so like I've told the staff, so we were going to get 1 year to get a C, we're going to get 2 years to get ourselves an A. So we're really striving hard to move our campus forward. And these three essential actions are how we feel that we're going to do it. Now, that doesn't mean everything else we're not going to focus on and on all of school. These are the ones that we will focus on the mainly that we think will get the best bang for our buck. So if you have any questions, if you want to put it in the chat or at any time, this is really a brief overview. At any time you wanted to talk about this more in depth, just call me up on the phone and I'll be more than happy to go over all of these essential actions and what it is that we are doing here on this campus to move our campus forward.
All right, thank you, Ms. Davidson. Ms. Leon, if you'll put the attendance link in the chat one more time, and we're gonna switch over to Mr. Fuentes, who's gonna talk to us about benchmark testing that's right around the corner.
Hello, everyone. Again, thanks for being here. We are going to have our first set of benchmarks. They will be the week of November 16th through the 20th. We sent out a message for the teachers to put on their Canvas today, and I'm going to share that message with you and kind of go over a few things that we have as expectations for this first test. Can I share my screen, Ms. Gunter?
Yes, ma'am, you should be able to.
Okay. So this is the letter that's going out to the students to let them know about the expectations. Again, I'll just read it real quick so I can, and then you can ask any questions at the end. The week of November 16th through 20th, we will have the mock STAR testing. This assessment, it's going to be shorter. And what I mean by it being shorter is that the students are going to have 90 minutes. Normally, when we do mock STAR testing, we give them 4 hours, but this test is shorter, and this is going to be our first go round at seeing how we're going to handle, the test with students being virtual and students being face to face. So this is kind of our trial run right now, and that's why the students are going to be testing in their content areas. Again, we want the students to take this assessment seriously, and it'll give us an indication of what specific areas they're going to need help in as we move on through the year. And as you know, like Ms. Davidson said, we are an F campus, and we are working towards, different initiatives to help our students and to help our campus. So being that we were out of school, from spring break through the end of the year, there's some gaps to fill there. So the data that we get on this assessment is going to be really important. And we're going to stress, that our students, we have expectations for them, for the students that are virtual and face-to-face. So the test is going to show what they've learned so far, and it's going to be covering the TEKS that they've studied in math, reading, writing, science, and social studies. And so we're going to let them know we want them to do their very best and really show what they know. The sixth graders are going to be taking math and reading. Seventh grade will take math, reading, and writing. And eighth grade, they're going to be taking math, reading, science, and social studies. Again, these tests are going to be taken in their content area classes. There's going to be a schedule that goes out. So eighth grade will be taking 4 tests that week. So like I said, it's going to be really important for our students to get on. There's going to be a cell phone policy that we read. We always do that with the students. A statement is going to be read previous to the test. We don't want our students to have their cell phones on them. The same goes for our virtual students. And, we're going to try and provide the best environment we can with our students. Our students that are working asynchronously, we want them to log on for this test. And in order for it to be the best test environment, we need them to have their cameras on so that teachers can monitor them while they are working on the test. It is an online test, so the test will be opened up by the teachers. The teachers will be the proctors for each content area, and they will be monitoring the test within that 90-minute period. Again, we are asking that students that are face-to-face do not have their cell phones on them, and they're going to put them in their backpacks or a designated area in the classroom. There is also going to be an integrity statement that's going to be, when they open the test, it'll be the first thing that they see when they open the test. That being said, we want to make sure that the kids follow these test procedures. We want to get the best data that we can. So we really want them to work hard on this assessment and do their very best so we can collect the data that we need to make sure that we provide, if they need interventions for whatever it may be, reading, math, science, social studies, that we provide those before we take the STAR test. As of right now, we are going to be taking a STAR test in May. We should be getting more information in December about what the final decision is, but we are going to be working through and doing these assessments just like like we are going to be taking it. I mean, because right now that's what we're going on. We don't have any data right now that says otherwise from TEA. The data that we have is that they're showing is that as of right now, we are going to be taking a STAR test in May. Does anybody have any questions about this?
There was a question.
There was a couple. Yeah, go ahead, Ms. Leon.
Okay, there was a couple questions related to STAR testing. One was, if we do the STAR test, will the virtual kids be obligated to go face-to-face?
Are they obligated to go face-to-face? No. They are highly recommending that our students do it online. As of right now, I don't have any information in regards to for the real STAR test, what the expectations are going to be. But as we get more data, we are going to, or more information, we are going to send it out immediately.
Okay. And then we had already answered about accommodation. So yes, they would be embedded within the online test.
Yes, they are. Yes. Any other questions? If you have any questions about the assessment, okay. If you are having issues during the testing, please give us a call. I am the campus testing coordinator, but you can give any one of the assistant principals a call or any admin on the campus. And I can honestly say, I'm sure I hope that we don't have any issues, but we might have some issues. And so that being said, if there are any issues, we will extend the time or dates if we need to. They've told us if we have any testing internet issues during the 17th through the 20th, if we have to move it and reschedule to after Thanksgiving, then we will. But if we do have those issues, we do have a plan B.
All right, thank you, Mr. Fuentes. We do have another.
I do have a question.
Oh, go for it. Yes, ma'am.
You can go ahead. I'll
That's okay. I was just going to move on. I just wanted whoever that put a question in the chat to know that I'm going to save it for the end because it wasn't pertaining to STAR. So if you have a question, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Well, my question is in regards to STAR. You guys said that you're changing it from a 4-hour window to a 90.
Oh,
Oh, you got muted, ma'am.
The testing.
so ma'am, this is just a practice. It's a mock. We're not changing the time. Right now, this is a test run because, as I said earlier, we have students that are face to face, and then we have students that are virtual. So we're trying to get the best data that we can right now. Now, I will tell you, this is not the only mock or practice STAR test that we're going to do. We're going to have a full-on one in February once we know for sure in December what TEA has planned for us to do.
And then my follow-up question to that is, you guys are requesting all virtual students to come into the school for the mock testing.
No, we're not.
Precautions
No,
are you
ma'am.
guys?
No, ma'am.
We aren't.
Okay, so my children received an email or text message or whatever notification that you guys sent out stating that they had to be on school for the testing.
I'm not aware of any message, and we are not requiring
Okay,
anybody.
Okay, I will follow up with my counselor. Thank you.
Okay.
Why did we wait until now to give the test dates? And because some parents need to make plans to monitor their virtual kids. Mr. Fuentes.
Why did we wait until now to give the test dates?
Yes, ma'am.
I believe they've been on the calendar. They've been on the school calendar and the testing calendar on the website.
And virtual students, I know, will be monitored through their teacher using their camera,
Right.
and barring that their camera does work. So it's definitely not the parent's responsibility to monitor
Right.
testing. I think that's all the STAR questions. If you guys continue to have questions, please put them in the chat. I am writing those down and we'll come back to them at a later time. I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to Mr. Hughley to talk about the upcoming Saturday school.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's meeting. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, and I am sharing with you guys my Canvas account, and we did push information in reference to Saturday school. And when the students log into their Canvas on their dashboard, they're going to have the information that Ms. Fuentes shared on the benchmark testing. And then right below that, they have the information for the upcoming Saturday school. The Saturday school will be this Saturday, November 14th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. is the 2 hours of instruction. Okay, if they are coming face to face, they do need to bring their Chromebooks and their chargers with them. If they're working from home, great, that is fine as well. The focus for this Saturday school will be both math and reading for both face-to-face and virtual students. Transportation will be provided from the closest elementary school, which are Candlewood, Escondido, Masters, or Woodlake. The bus will be there at 8:30 and leave promptly at 8:30 a.m. So please make sure your students, if they are going to utilize their transportation from the district, that they are there prior to 8:30. Buses will return shortly after 11 a.m. once the students are dismissed from the Metzger. A light breakfast and snack will be served to those attending face-to-face. Students that do participate, whether it's virtual or face-to-face, will receive a grade of 100, which is going to be a bonus grade, in the category of project or test for either reading or math, whichever Saturday content they participate in. If they participate in reading, their reading teacher will be putting that extra 100 project/test grade in the grade book for your child. Or if they participate in math, the math teacher will be adding that extra 100 for a project or test grade in the grade book. We do have a registration Google form. Right here is the link. I'm going to go ahead and launch the link. Okay, and all we're asking for is the student's last name, first name, ID number, which grade level, and whether they will be attending face-to-face or virtual. And once the document is completed, of course, you would click submit. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my screen. If your student is attending reading, we have Miss Bishop will be servicing our 8th grade students. Miss Parker will be servicing our 7th grade students, and Miss Salim will be servicing our 6th grade students. And these are the Zoom meeting links that our students will sign in on. Okay, for the areas of math, we have Miss Lucas servicing our 8th grade students, and this is her Zoom link. We have Mr. Coker servicing 7th grade students, which is the Zoom link. And we have 6th grade students being serviced by Mr. Rogers, and here's his Zoom link. And again, this is found on your student's dashboard page of Canvas. And then, as I stated, the announcement also for benchmark testing, the dates and so forth, and everything that was shared on testing by Ms. Fuentes as well. Are there any questions about Saturday school?
Every day. Yes, I do have a question. If you attend both sessions, both math and reading, do you get 100 points?
They will only be able to attend reading or math at this time, ma'am, for this session.
So they have to take reading or math for 2 hours.
Yes. I do the reading. They have a pre-test, 2 Nearpod activities, a Jeopardy activity, and a post-test, and then math. These are the 3. These are actually rotations that the students will be participating in.
You have a great day.
You
And I
too.
do have another question since nobody else does. So I was just wondering, are they going to be working on assignments that are like making up assignments, or are these going to be pre-selected assignments that you guys are putting together?
For the area of reading, we are focusing on a historical low teak that we have based on our data from previous year STAR, and they're focusing on the area of inferencing for all 3 grade levels. For math, Ms. Rector, do you want to talk on what y'all are focusing on for math?
So for math, we're focusing on the problem solving strategy, which will be incorporated for each grade level. And we are also focusing on the lowest scoring TEAC for each grade level as well. So this will encompass content that the students scored low in over this past 9 weeks. So we're going to be hitting it in different ways. They'll do STAR questions from the Think Fast, they'll do Imagine Math, and then they'll do an analyze activity with Mr. Rogers.
Any other questions about Saturday school? I see something already asked for Saturday. All kids participating, include non-face-to-face, will receive the 100 bonus. Yes. Whether they're virtual or face-to-face. Is the Saturday school is optional. It's not mandatory.
And we will have other Saturday schools throughout the year, right, Mr. Hughley?
That is correct.
Okay.
I
so
know this is at the same time as a football game, so football players may not be able to participate, of course, because they're playing their game. But like Ms. Gunter said, our goal is to try to have one every month from here up until STAR. And they'll be focusing on different contents. It's not always going to be math and ELAR. science and social studies will also be included.
That looks like it for now.
Well, sorry, I have a question.
Mhm.
Yes,
For
ma'am.
the points, the 100 points, is that going to be given for this 9 weeks, obviously, right?
Yes. So basically, ma'am, what could happen are, of course, we're planning on hoping to have one every month. So our next one would be December, right before Christmas, and it would probably be that second Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, is what we had discussed. And that second Saturday, so that would also go for this 9 weeks. So if your child or student participated in both Saturday schools, they could get up to 4 summative grades in that area, which could really help a student's grade, because these grades of 100 are actual test slash project grades.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? All right, Ms. Gunter, I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and let you continue.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Ms. Hardaway is going to talk to us about report cards and letters.
Oh, good evening, everyone. So report cards were available on your parent portal last week. So we will be actually mailing out a hard copy of the report cards to everyone. Now, if your child received a failing grade for any of the core contents, 1 or more, in their virtual, there's a letter that's included in the report cards to just encourage you to consider having your student come face to face with us to get more instruction, and the teacher right there with them to assist them. It is optional, but we do just encourage you to consider sending them face to face if they're not already face to face. Now, some of the report cards may have an I in place of a grade. That simply means the teacher gave them an incomplete. They did have 14 days to get all missing assignments in where they received an incomplete and turn it in. And today was the last day to get all those assignments in, because the teachers will turn in grade changes on Friday for those grades. So you should have had communication with the teachers whether or not there was missing assignments if they received an incomplete. So at this point, that's really all I have. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your grade level counselor. Ms. Lyons is for 6th grade, I am for 7th grade, and Ms. Ullman is for 8th grade. We will try to answer any questions you may have in terms of grades. Thank you, Ms. Gunter.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Hardaway. Ms. Rector is going to talk to us about our Imagine Math success we've been having.
All right, so I just want to make mention that we do have access to an online curriculum through Imagine Math. The students have access to it through the Judson portal. It is Imagine Math and Imagine Math Facts. The Imagine Math is by grade level, so every student should have a 6th grade pathway that are 6th graders. Every 7th grader has a 7th grade pathway, and every 8th grader has an 8th grade pathway, as well as the algebra. And so we just finished our first contest on November the 1st, and I was asking for students that received to practice to get up to at least 3,000 points. And then we skyrocketed that, so I had to raise the level a little bit. So we actually went up to 10,000 points and actually had students that obtained that goal. So kudos to all of you who have been supporting your students and going in and getting the Imagine Math piece done. We had over 130 students that surpassed that goal. We will have another contest, and it will start tomorrow, and it will end right before Christmas break. So they'll have a little over a month to do it. And what I want to reiterate to everybody is that, again, the students have access to this 24/7. And so students can log in during the Thanksgiving break. If you feel like they need extra practice on whatever concept to get better for STAR, we have access to that. The district goal is that, and what the company says is that if the students pass at least 30 lessons by the time STAR comes around, they should show much improvement on their STAR assessment. And so our final goal is for the students to pass 30 lessons by May, which is the month that our STAR test is. And that's for all grade levels. So we're just doing little contests to help everybody, to motivate them. We did give out a little incentive. We had little bookmarks with some candies, and CIS, the Community and Schools, teamed up with us and presented us little school packs for those that did get the 10,000 points or higher. And so if you have any questions about Imagine Math or want to see your student progress, please feel free to contact me, because I do run weekly reports to see the progress that our students are making. And I'm really pushing for my 8th grade parents. Please have your students log in, because 8th grade is our weakest link right now. 6th grade is running every grade level up 1 and down 1 with that Imagine Math. So please encourage your students to log in at least 30 minutes a week at home, so that we can get those scores up. If you have any questions about Imagine Math or anything regarding math, please feel free to contact me. Thank you, Ms. Gunter.
Thank you, Ms. Rector. I think we had one question, if virtual kids can pick up school packs.
Yes. If you would let me know, just shoot me an email or give me a call after school for those students that are virtual. I do have them set aside for the virtual students as well.
Thank you, Ms. Rector. That is everything that we have on the agenda. So I'm going to go back through some of the questions that were in the chat. So if anybody wants to jump in and answer these, I'm going to start with, I believe Ms. Wall asked if there's any way that we can make it universal for the work to be due like Friday or Sunday nights later in the week to help with working parents assisting their children with homework and such. I don't know if.
Does she mean, I guess, I know that's kind of prevalent at elementary school. You have your certain things are due on certain days of the week. It would depend on, it kind of depends on when the teacher assigns things, because teachers are in different parts of their curriculum. So they assign things within when they are in that part of their curriculum. So we can look at maybe having, homework due for ELAR on Mondays and homework on, Tuesdays for math. And we can look at something like that. That's kind of how elementary runs. You're kind of into secondary now and don't really do things like that, but we can look at it. So I'll bring it to the admin team and see if that's something that we can look at.
I think she's more saying to have the assignments due at the end of the week or even the end of the weekend, because some of them they're due in the middle of the week and they're struggling to help their kids until the weekend, if that makes sense.
Well, you have obviously you have to take points off, but you have some time, you have days for it to be, if they want to make it late. I don't understand why, I guess I'm not understanding the question.
That probably covers it.
Talk about it.
That probably covers it. Just
Okay, let me just help you guys out here.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure. I think we lost them. I did have someone, Mr. Hughley, that asked where did they go to register for Saturday school? They had missed that.
On your students' Canvas homepage, there's a message that was pushed out. And after the text, there's a link that says register for Saturday school.
All right. How do 8th grade students find time for Imagine Math, multiple classes, and quite a bit of homework every night? Ms. Rector.
I completely understand. And we are providing during our 8th period time for students to actually go into Imagine Math as an enrichment piece for them to log in and practice their Imagine Math. We also have time during advisory every day during fifth and sixth periods for the students to log in. And so, like I'm saying, it's not, something for the students to have to do every night, but it is a good resource for the students to ensure that they are strengthening their math skills so that you don't have to particularly wait for the teacher to provide instruction or tutoring. It is a resource that is already provided for the students, especially like for next week when we're off for Thanksgiving. That's time that they can get on to ensure that they're not falling behind and to strengthen their math skills.
Sorry, I have a question about the Imagine Minds, please. I have two kids in grade 7, and they score 10,000 points, but at the least it shows with the 5,000 the point. So what's wrong, or can you fix the points of my kids, please?
Can you get with me? Can we talk outside of the meeting? Because here's the thing, I had a few students that had that same issue, but the contest that for the data that I was looking for ended on November the 1st, which was a Sunday night. And so I literally pulled the data that day. Now, if they have 10,000 points now, that's great. They will qualify for the next incentive when we have another one. But that data that I pulled for this particular contest ended on November the 1st.
Yeah, but they told me, we told our teacher and she said, I will fix it. But still now the point is not fixed. That's why I'm asking you right now. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, can you meet with me afterwards so I can get their names and I'll look at it?
Okay, by phone or at this?
Right here, after we get done with this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right, thank you.
There was a question about grades being updated in a timely manner. I know that teachers should be updating their grades every weekend, so they should have their grades updated by Monday. So if you are not seeing updated grades, please reach out to that teacher. You can email them directly and they can let you know. And there was another question, was there a sign for the meeting tonight? I don't know if there was a sign, Ms. Davidson. I do know that the bright arrow was sent out via text and email, yes?
Yes, twice. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Oh, and then I sent the sign-in form to that person directly.
And then someone's asking about tutoring for 7th grade math. Do we have tutoring for 7th grade math?
We do. We have some great teachers, Ms. Franco and Ms. ST. Their tutoring time should be posted on their Canvas. And if you have any further questions about that, again, you can email me or call me and we can look into that as well.
We have a parent whose one of their son's classes doesn't post assignments properly, that none of the assignments show up for that class on Parent Canvas or on his daily calendar. And how can we rectify this?
Whoever that parent is, if you can call me, I'll at the office tomorrow. On Thursday, I can look into that, because sometimes we've emailed out if there was a schedule change. Sometimes there's a delay in between when Canvas updates and from Frontline. It could be that, but we do email the teachers out the student email addresses so that they can reach out to that student and make sure that they're getting the assignment, so there's no delay in their classes and receiving the work they need.
So he's had the same teacher the entire semester, and the first 9 weeks when I looked on Parent Canvas, I could see what assignments he had due that day. But since the report cards went out and the new 9 weeks opened up, whenever I go to my Parent Canvas, all it shows is his checkpoints. And then whenever he goes to like his daily calendar and it tells him what assignments are due that day, none of his assignments show up for science.
Okay, I'm gonna put my email address in the chat. If you could please send me an email with your child's name, I can look into it tonight and see what's going on and email you back.
Okay, thank you so much.
Not a problem.
For those of you that were looking for the Saturday school registration, Mr. Hughley did put a link in the chat, so you can go ahead and click that. The only other question that I've seen so far is we have a parent that is having trouble logging in to Canvas with the registration info that they registered with.
So in terms of that, if they can contact Miss Williams, our registrar, she can help them get their password and username reset so that they can get in, and I will put her information in the chat as well.
Okay.
I have a question. I don't know if it was ever covered at the last meeting.
I do have signing.
Hello?
Go ahead.
This is having to deal with attendance. When I received my son's progress report, or just even looking on the front line of his attendance, and with him crossing over from elementary to middle school, and me working and also having another child, basically dual homeschool learning, he was counted absent a lot, even though the teachers did recognize that he was there in the Zoom meetings. But I wanted to know, who can I talk to as far as, because we both were learning Canvas together and how to do the daily check-ins and how to navigate through Canvas. Who can I talk to about what will we need to do for those, or is it going to be still considered unexcused even though we were learning how to do the check-ins? Or I guess I'm just trying to figure out if there's options for that, if that makes sense.
Ms. Quintero, this is Ms. Cifuentes, the 8th grade assistant principal. Can you give us a call tomorrow and we can talk, individually about your situation?
Okay.
Would that work?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. Yeah, just give us a call and you can ask for me and I can help you out with that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
We have another parent that asked if we can do away with the checkpoint and just go off of turning in assignments.
I have a question.
And another question about why are teachers locking checkpoints during the day? As far as I'm aware, checkpoints shouldn't be locked during the day. So that's another, I would reach out to the teacher. They shouldn't be locked until 11:59, PM in the evening. So I would reach out to that teacher specifically and email them. And as far as the getting away with the check-ins and just looking at turn-in assignments, if admin would like to take that one.
Well, I was just going to say, as far as the, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Ms. Davidson.
Technically, the checkpoint is attendance. So like if we were in if we were in school, like we did last year, a child can be sitting in a classroom and be marked here for attendance, but not do any work and not get a grade. So you're kind of looking at two different things. The checkpoint is our way for attendance, and that's till 11:59 at night. So we give them the opportunity to do something asynchronously all day, any class, it doesn't matter. So we can mark them here for attendance. And then what they do in class, turn in assignments, do their homework, whatever, take a quiz, whatever, that's how they get a grade. So it's you're kind of looking at it as two different things. So we really can't get rid of the checkpoints because the checkpoints are what the district has told TEA is how we are taking attendance because we have chosen to be an asynchronous district. So it's not really a Metzger thing, it's a district option.
Thank you, Ms. Davidson. Mr. Hughley, I have a few parents that are struggling with the link for Saturday school registration. One said it didn't work and one is saying that it's telling them they need permission.
They're going to have to log in with Google.
Yeah, they'll have to log into Google. Ms. Hardaway asked me to put the link there, so I just copied it from my Canvas screen and put it there. Mr. Chestnut, since you are the one that actually created the link, are you able to post it into the chat, please?
They said that they're doing it through their son's Canvas and they are logging in through Google. I know, just make sure that you're using that same student ID to log in, I guess, if you're going through Canvas.
Hi, I have one question, please.
Mm-hmm.
Would the Saturday school is this Saturday school for all students or for the students they have low grades?
It's
The
for anyone who
Saturday
wants to
school,
attend, right?
Yes.
Everybody.
I'm sorry, Ms. Gunter.
Whoever wants to attend, right?
It is open to everybody and teachers are sending out individual invites to individual students who they feel
Okay.
benefit from it.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I have a question. I've been noticing that the teachers are assigning assignments on Saturdays and Sundays. Is that something that's supposed to be happening?
They're assigning assignments on Saturdays and Sundays, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
That they're due that day, or they're just putting it out there on their Canvas for kids to preview?
It's due that day.
So they assign it on a Saturday and it's due on a Saturday?
I don't know when they're assigning it. I know that when I go to my child's Canvas, he has assignments that's due on the weekends.
Most
If you
teachers,
can call, what grade level is your child, ma'am?
He's a 7th grader.
Okay, if you can call Mr. Gostella tomorrow or on Thursday, and he will help you with that.
Thank you. And then I have another question. I noticed that my teacher is putting in progress reports every week, which I really appreciate. Is that something that all classes are doing, or is it just that one specific teacher?
They're
You mean, so she's updating her grades weekly?
Yes, and she's sending out a progress report telling me, hey, you know what, this is what we're looking at.
Well, technically, the progress reports are every 3 weeks. So that is what's required of the teachers.
Okay, so she's going above and beyond. Perfect.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
all I appreciate.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate that too, whoever that teacher is.
Oh, that's Miss Franco.
Okay.
I think, Ms. Davidson, if you don't mind, I wanted to address that Saturday and Sunday issue. I know that some teachers will put their assignments due later in the weekend to give the students extra time, that it may have been something that was given throughout the week. And instead of saying, hey, it's due on Friday, make sure you get it done before class is over, they're allowing them the extra couple of days before it starts entering into late work.
That is awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't know if y'all heard me, but Miss Franco is the one that's going above and beyond.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
All right.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so the teachers send out these blast emails to parents to say, hey, you know, the students are not doing their work. Can you ask them to please log in and do their work? And can you check your front line? And so, you know, we as parents go on and check our front line. But for this particular class, my child only had 5 grades. She had all of them turned in. We're good, okay. I get another blast email about kids not doing work. I log in again, still the same 5 grades. And then when her report card comes out, she's got 2 zeros and a missing because the teacher didn't put in any grades the entire 9 weeks other than the first 5 grades, which were done by the previous teacher before the new teacher took over. Is there a standard that you're giving the teachers to put in these assignments or these grades in frontline? Because if I'm as a parent trying to keep up and help out and do what I need to do to get my daughter to do the work, you know, I shouldn't be coming to report card time and then saying, hey, you have these zeros. And then furthermore, when I asked my daughter, she said it was in Canvas where she couldn't even find it. So she didn't know she had these assignments to do.
Well, technically, teachers are supposed to put 2 daily grades in. They have to take 2 daily grades a week. So those grades should be in for you to see. And that's the reason why we have frontline, because it should be real time grades. So if we're having issues with that with a certain teacher or teachers, the admin needs to know. So if you can call us on Thursday and let us know what teachers we're having some issues with, so we can have a conversation. And then we will address, because this seems to be a common thread with this Zoom meeting, and which I appreciate you parents telling us these things. I really do.
Yeah, okay.
So we will have a conversation, a faculty meeting conversation
And then
with
for
some of
that
these issues
particular
that you are bringing
class,
forth, which I appreciate.
for that particular class, she was given an incomplete for an assignment that she couldn't do because she was not on campus. And when I brought it to the attention, the teacher said, oh, yeah, she couldn't do that because she's not face to face. I'll fix it later. So is there not an excused in Frontline like there used to be in Parent Center where the grade can be marked as excused instead of incomplete or missing?
Yes, there is.
Okay, so because I'm here yelling at my kid, why didn't you complete it? Well, I'm not on campus. I can't physically do the run for PE. And then when I have to ask the teacher, oh, sorry, I'll fix it later. So again, as a parent, I'm doing the best that I can to help out the teachers, but Frontline is, I'm having some issues with, the grade not being put in right. If you say there's an excuse in there, why are we not using the excuse for virtual students for runs that they can't do in PE?
Yes, ma'am. And there needs to be alternate assignments because teachers are supposed to be able to assign similar assignments to both of the students.
And that was the
virtual.
question. That was actually the question I asked Miss Davidson when I emailed her was, hey, what's the alternate assignment for my daughter to do at home? Because she can't do the run. It's a timed run. I don't know who's going to time her. And then she said, no, she's excused from doing it, which again, I asked, what's the alternate? So again, she's not being provided an alternate. And then she's been being given an incomplete.
Okay. Again, thank you for this information.
We have another question that says, why are we getting emails stating that something's missing? My student showing it was submitted and it was due 10/29, 10/28, and they were done during that time. I don't know if I'm going to be answering this correctly or not, because it's going to be different for different teachers, but I know a lot of assignments that we put in, they can just click submit in Canvas and it says it's submitted. But like specifically for me, when we do a math assignment, it's an external link. So the assignment is through Google. So they can click submit on Canvas and it'll show you, yes, they did it, but their assignment's in Google Drive and it's blank. So that could be the issue.
That's something that's confusing to parents, because when you do look at your child's Canvas, whether you're looking in the student or the parent portal, and it's showing that it needs to be submitted, and they're saying, hey, I submitted it, but then it's not showing it submitted in Canvas. So is there a way, like a button that they need to push in Canvas in order for you to say, hey, you know what, this has been submitted? Or is it like what does the parent or the teacher or the student need to do in order for you to see that they were able to submit that, if it's an external link?
Ms. Leon, do you know, I know that when they submit it to us, we can see the slide. When they submit their slide, can they see their slide? You're on mute.
Sorry. Yes, they can still see their slide. So like I link it. I know last meeting I kind of showed how I do it, link an external link, and all it does is it'll open it for them to type on. And then like if I were to click on their assignment, I can see real time what they're typing. So that's one way we can help them, but they can just hit submit without ever actually completing anything, which I've had students do. And I just tell them, hey guys, open it back up so you can complete it because it's not done. But they can still open it and they can still see it.
But that's kind of confusing for the parent, because you're saying that it's submitted and it's able to show that they still need to go back into it. So how are you supposed to be keeping up with what they've submitted and what they haven't submitted if they're able to just click submit and they haven't really turned in the work?
The only thing I could say is if there's an assignment in question for you and your student, I would ask them to show it to me. Like, don't just show me that you put submit, show me that assignment. So if it's multiplying fractions and you see on Canvas that they hit the submit button, don't stop there. Say, show me the multiplying fractions assignment. I'm going to share my screen and show you what it looks like. I think I can do this.
Ms. Gunner, I have that same issue, but it always says when I'm in Google Slides that there's a sharing issue. So is that on the teacher side? Because they're saying when you submit it that they're not seeing it, but you can see that clearly the work is done in Google Slides. I don't understand that part.
I know it doesn't happen very often, but I do know that sometimes there are glitches. Even today, I had a student today that had put a correction on his Google slide, and I had his slide open and I was looking at it at the exact same time he was, but his correction didn't come through. Sometimes that's a glitch. That does not always happen. It is not frequent. If it is, I would just encourage your student or yourself, someone speak with the teacher. I mean, we're not ever going to say, well, too bad it's not on my side, I'm not grading that. That's not going to happen. Just like with that young man today, I just said, well, show me your screen real quick or tell me the answer. And I just typed it in for him. So I know stuff like that will happen. Again, it doesn't happen a lot, but just to have those conversations will probably help clear some of that up. When they go into their Google Drive, I'm just going to kind of segue back to that other question. They all have these quick access blocks. They look like pictures, and it's going to be different for everybody. And I've noticed on the Chromebooks, it's usually 4. They usually have 4 pictures right here that says quick access. Directly underneath that, they have folders. Now, I have a whole bunch of folders, and they're all color coded, whatever. They usually only have like 3 or 4 max. And usually the first one is going to say assignments, and it's going to be this gray color, like this one that says 6th grade science is going to be gray like that. And it's going to say assignments, unless they have me for math, and then it's probably red because I made them change it to red so they'd see it real fast. Once they click that assignment folder, they're going to see multiple folders again. So for me, it only says Gunter 6th grade math because that's my class and all my students' work goes in there. But for your student, it'll say Gunter 6th grade math. There will be another folder that says Leon ELAR. There will be another one that says Vera science, and another one that says Burkhart social studies, because all of their assignments from Canvas automatically will distribute to whatever Google folder they need it to go to. So they're always going to go to Google Drive, click on their assignment folder, and then whatever class it is you need to see. And then from there, all of their assignments will be in there. So if I click on any one of these, it's going to pull up 120 students' individual slides so that I can get on there and work with them. I can grade it immediately. So even if they don't hit submit through Canvas, that's not a big deal. I have it graded anyways because I can still access your work. If they do hit submit through Canvas, then awesome. I've got it in 2 places. But if you're continuously seeing that it's saying submitted, but then I'm seeing a 0, well, what that probably means is they're going to Canvas and they're just hitting the submit button, but they're not actually doing any work. So just take that extra second to say, show it to me. Show me your assignment and look at it. And that should kind of clear that up. So
Thank you, Ms. Gunter.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
And I do have another question. Is there a maximum amount of assignments that each teacher is able to like submit like per day? Because I know my child's ELAR teacher, she has 8 different assignments on a Friday. And I'm just like, do you not know it's the weekend?
They might just, I can look into that, but I don't know why they would post 8 assignments for one day. They might be posting assignments for the next week, but please let me know how I can help with that. I am the 8th grade assistant principal, but I also oversee ELAR. So if you want to give me a call and we can talk about that and see what that issue is, and we can talk to that teacher as well.
I sure will, Mrs. Fuentes. I will speak with you on Thursday.
Thank you, ma'am. And so you know, they should be posting the minimum 2 assignments per week. Is that correct, academic coaches?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And they're supposed to be posted, the grades are supposed to be posted on Mondays, no later than 4 p.m. at the end of business on Monday for the previous week, every week, 2 grades.
Thank you, Mr. Hughley.
You're welcome, ma'am.
We have a couple questions about Google. There's unfortunately not a way to link you to your student's Google account. They would just have to pull that up. They just go to their Judson portal, click applications, Google Drive. It's probably even on their homepage. They probably don't even have to hit applications anymore. But it should be fairly easy for them to pull up. And then there was one more, I'm sorry. There were still a couple on here that said that you're seeing the Google assignments are done and that it's still showing missing. So if that is the case, if you're not just looking at a submit button and you did take that extra step to say, show it to me, and it's completed, then at that point I would reach out to the teacher, and there's a share button at the very top of the screen. You can hit that share button and send it back to the teacher, and it'll send them an automatic email that says, so-and-so is asking you to edit this slide. So they'll get the email that way. You can screenshot it on your computer and send them an email that says, hey, this is done. I just wanted to check into this. So that's a couple different options. If, again, that glitch does happen, that sometimes they're working on it and it just doesn't come through on our end. And I don't know why that is. It doesn't happen very often, but I would just communicate with that teacher to see what it is that can be done to rectify it. And then I have another question about if they've emailed a teacher last week and got no response, then what do they do? What's the next step?
Call and contact an administrator for that grade level. Mr. Hernandez is 6th grade, Mr. Guastella is 7th grade, and I am 8th grade.
And you could always contact me if that doesn't work.
Yes.
That's all the questions in the chat. I think we covered everybody. If we missed your question, feel free to unmute yourself and just let us know. If not, then we can go ahead and close this one out. Anybody?
I just want to say again, thank you for this parent meetup. I've always learned something new and enjoy the topics, even though I never really submit something to talk about. But thank you again for everything, and one more week and then vacation time. So woo woo.
Thank you.
Thank you, parents, for coming. We do appreciate it. You have to let us know, and so we can fix it if we know what we need to fix. Thank you very much.
I added an option to the sign in for them to put suggestions.
Okay.
And I did just get a question about how can they find out a teacher's conference time or schedule one if they don't respond even after speaking to admin.
Call the receptionist, Miss Lee. She has that information. 210-662-2210.
All right. And just as a reminder, there is no school tomorrow, so please don't send us your children. Thanksgiving break is November 23rd through the 27th. And our next Mustang meetup is not going to be until December 1st. So this was the last one for November. Again, we appreciate all of you coming out with your questions and listening to what we have to offer you. So appreciate you all.
And for that parent, before you close out, Ms. Gunter,
Yes, ma'am.
and any parent, if you have any questions about Imagine Math, please stay on, and I have the data pulled up, and I will chat with you one-on-one. And also, lastly, we do offer Imagine Reading as well. One of the reading teachers wanted to make sure I emphasize that. So they have the same access to the portal. So please make sure in the spare time the students are logging in. Thank you.
Oh, before you're leaving, I'm waiting for you, teacher.
Yes,
Gunter, I don't know if you guys saw this, Mrs. Wall asking, can the kids get some type of credit for them attending this meeting? Ms. Wall, that's something that admin can discuss, and we can consider that as a possibility. I would not think it would be a project grade though, more like a daily grade.
All right, thank you all so much, and we will see you next time.
Hey, teacher.
Yes, I'm still here.
I'm waiting, teacher, for Imagine Maths.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Yeah, before you close, I ask a question about my kids.
Can you give
about their
me the
points.
student's name?
Okay, the first one is
Mhm.
Novel Mahari. Novel is his first name, Novel.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Mahari is his last name, Mehari.
Okay.
And the